Hi, this is Mike from Mike's Unboxing Reviews and How To, and on today's video I'm going to take a look at a new controller from the people over at MSI. This is the new Force GC300. This is a multi-mode wireless controller, can be used with a wire as well. USB 2.0 using a USB Type-C cable, or you can use it with 2.4 gigahertz with the included dongle, and you can use it also with Bluetooth. So this means multi-device compatibility, so whether you're using it with maybe a PlayStation, a phone, Xbox, PC, the choice is yours. Lots of flexibility on this. So if you're one of those gamers where you like to play your games on multiple different consoles or multiple devices, this could be right up your street. So in today's video, I'm going to go through, take a look at some of the specifications, take a look at the controller itself, some of the accessories, and then we'll come back towards the end with my final thoughts. We'll also take a look at the MSI Center, because this joystick or joypad or gamepad can be programmed and controlled in various different ways, thanks partially due to the new Hall effect sensors built into the triggers. So that is really nice, and also we have upgraded analog sticks as well, which do feel very, very nice indeed and very, very responsive. So we'll start off with probably the important bit, weight. So this fully loaded with the included rechargeable battery, which is a 600 milliamp hour, you're looking at around about 230 grams. So certainly not too heavy, not too lightweight, so it doesn't feel very flimsy. And actually the build quality and construction is absolutely excellent. It feels absolutely solid, which is really nice. And also it's very grippy as well, partly due to the bottom section, which has this kind of textured design to it, whereas the top has a kind of semi-matte finish, which is very nice, and even with slightly sweaty hands, it doesn't seem to show up many marks and doesn't really attract grease, so that's a bonus. Now, I've already mentioned that this comes with a 600 milliamp hour battery, so that is going to equate to somewhere in the region of about 20 hours of gameplay, which isn't a great deal, but then if you're sitting there for 20 hours gaming, that is quite a lot, I think, personally, and that is the full range. If you have things like the rumble on, etc., on the highest settings, it will reduce that battery capacity a little bit. I haven't had time to test that and give you any kind of specifics, but certainly I've been using this for a little while now and it's still very fully charged. So yeah, no problems there as far as I'm concerned. Of course, if you do get to the point where the battery level is coming down a little bit, of which you can monitor both in MSI Center, and also there is an LED on the gamepad itself, so it goes from green to amber to red, telling you obviously the charge status, but you can, if you want to, plug in the USB cable. USB cable is 2 meters in length, USB Type A on one end, USB Type C on the other. And for those of you that are playing games on your console and you're maybe sat back on the couch, don't worry, you can just use a different USB Type C cable, maybe a longer 5 meter one or something, and you can just sit back on your couch and enjoy your games as you would normally. We'll take a look at the packaging next. So this is the new MSI packaging for the modern generation. So this is the Force GC300 Wireless. On the back of the box, it goes into some of the specifications. So precision at your fingertips with the new Hall effect triggers. You've also got flexible in all directions, so the analog thumbsticks have been improved, and the D-pad has been designed for flawlessly continuous maneuvers. Also on the back, there are some tactical options. So you've got some new ergonomically designed customizable rear buttons, and also you can play on any platform seamlessly, and you can transition between PC and mobile, 2.4 gigahertz and Bluetooth very easily, as well as wired USB. So what do we get in the box? Obviously you get the controller itself, which we'll take a closer look at shortly. You get a very small little dongle. This is for the 2.4 gigahertz, so you can use that in various devices, however you see fit. And also, like I said, you get the USB cable. Taking a closer look at the controller, so you've got pretty much the standard layout. So if you're used to Xbox controllers, I think you're going to feel very much at home with this. Personally, I like to see the fact that we've got the color-coded buttons on there. You do find, especially on some older games, they do have the kind of color-coded pop-ups on the screen telling you which buttons to mash, and of which you can mash this. You've got really nice buttons on there, done a very good job on that. Feels very accurate, very sturdy, very little wobble or anything to it. So yeah, nice and accurate for your game mashing preferences. At the top, you've got the MSI logo that serves as a on-off button, and also in certain devices can bring up menus, etc. You've got the usual buttons on the top there as well for PC and gaming use. The D-pad, this is absolutely excellent. I love the D-pad. It's got a very, very nice feel to it, and I do use the D-pad quite a lot on some games, some driving games when you're making selections, changing gears, whatever. Or even if you're in first-person shooters for switching weapons, etc. It does feel very nice, very accurate, and it's somewhat of a hump. So yeah, pressing the right button at the right time is very easy to do. And then next, looking at the analog triggers, these are absolutely great. They've got a very, very nice weight to them, and they centralize very easily. and nice clicks to them as well for the center clicks. Those are excellent, very good for controlling kind of motion and things like Flight Simulator. Flight Simulator with this is absolutely excellent. It does feel very responsive indeed. When it comes to the buttons on the top, so we've got the top buttons and also you've got those Hall effect triggers. Now there's something interesting they've done with the Hall effect triggers is there's actually a adjustment on them. So you can have them so they're almost like a half press or a rapid trigger. So you move the button across and it's like a hardware thing and it locks them into position. If you want to have the full range of motion, then you can just unlock that and use them as they would normally. But yeah, these are really nice and there's no real rattles or anything to it, so that's really good. Obviously on the front there, you've got the USB Type-C connection for plugging in, a little bit of MSI branding there and also on the button on the top. When it comes to the back, so you've got those two switches, like we said, for adjusting the Hall effect triggers for the short press or the long press. And also you've got the two ergonomic buttons there, programmable M1 and M2. You can change those in MSI Center to do basically kind of anything you want to in game. So that's pretty nice. You can set macros, etc. And between there is the switch between the wireless modes. So either the 2.4 gigahertz wireless or the Bluetooth option. So you can just switch that across. Again, nice, strong, sturdy switch, which is really good. Looking at the bottom, so this is actually quite interesting. You've also got a 3.5mm headset jack. So this can do microphone and audio. So you can just plug in your favorite headset into there. And also there is a hardware mute button as well. So you can press that to mute your microphone should you need to. This effectively as a controller also has a built-in sound card. So regardless of what device you're using, it's going to be absolutely fine. Plug in your headset there and it treats it as a new kind of USB headset DAC. So that is pretty good. In terms of the actual feel and control, yeah, I like it a lot. It's a really nice controller. It's a little bit more chunky than the traditional Xbox 360 controller, which I'm very much used to. A little bit wider and feels a little bit more sturdy in hand as well. Possibly going slightly towards the older Xbox controllers, the original Duke. So it's got that kind of large feel to it. So for some people that's going to be beneficial, especially if you've got larger hands. But even said that, I think pretty much everybody's going to get on very well with this. Now, the recommended retail price for this at the moment is $44.99 here in the UK. And I've had a look around on Amazon, it looks like the same sort of prices there as well. So no massive discounts on this as of yet. And also for those of you that are looking at this and thinking, well, actually it's quite nice, but I've got a white setup, so I quite like a white version. Don't worry, they do the white version as well. And there's no increase in price on that. That is also £45, at least that is the MSRP. Obviously prices will fluctuate depending where you're shopping. So that's it for a tour of the product itself. Let's take a look at the software and see what we can do in terms of customization. Okay, so going into the MSI Center. So as you can see, it comes up in the gaming gear section. And here are our Force GC300 Wireless. And on this page, it shows you the charging rate. So currently we're plugged in on the USB, so it's connected and charging. If we go into the various sections here, so we've got info, so it tells you about the actual controller and also the firmware version you're on. Chances are when you plug this in for the first time, it's going to ask you to do a firmware update. Don't worry about it, just go through it, do it. It's absolutely fine, it doesn't take very long at all. Next, you've got your mapping section. So this is for the buttons on the bottom. So M1 and M2, and you can choose what you want them to be. So you can have the various button presses on there, or you can set it for screenshot or screen recording, if that is something which you may find useful. Would have been nice to actually be able to map it to like a keyboard stroke as well, possibly. But certainly you've got other options there, so up, down, left, right, etc. Left button, right button, all those kinds of things. And you can choose which one each one does, so yeah, that's pretty handy. If we go into the vibration mode, you can choose your vibration settings. So if you don't like vibration, you can just set it all the way down to 0. Or if you like some strong feedback, you can set it up to 100%. This, like I said a little bit earlier, will affect your battery life, as they always do on wireless controllers. So set that however you feel appropriate. Next, we go on to the triggers. So this is actually where it gets a bit interesting, because you've got the Hall effect triggers and also the short section. So you can make adjustments there. So if you want a little bit of a dead zone, you can set this down to maybe 90 or 5%, just so that if you accidentally touch it, then it doesn't go. If you want to synchronize them both, you can choose that. So you can synchronize either side, and then whenever you make any changes, that will move with it. So get it set exactly how you like it, and that's pretty much all you need to do. So that's it for the left and right triggers. Also, if you move the switch on the bottom, so if you look on the left trigger, I'll move the switch across and it says now you have selected the short trigger lock. Please switch to another level to continue setup. So if you actually put it in short trigger mode, you can't have any adjustments. It basically is like a kind of on or off. And if you put it back into normal mode, you get the full range of motion on there. Next, we've got the macro settings. So if you want to set up a macro for the M1 or M2 buttons, you can go ahead and do that should you wish to. And then when you're done, obviously just click on save, and then all your settings will be saved to the profile. You can have up to 3 profiles and you can name them as well. So if you have different usage, so like PC, Mac, Xbox, etc., you can choose those if you want to. So you can have it exactly how you like it. If for some reason you do something in here and you're not too sure, or it's messed up, just press on the reset button and it will set everything back to its defaults, all the vibrations, etc. That will go back to the store defaults. Press reset, there you go. So there you go, pretty simple, pretty straightforward thing to do, and quite handy the fact that it synchronizes in MSI Center. So there you go, there's a look at MSI Center. I've just unplugged this now. You can see that currently it's flashing, so that means it's not connected. When it's connected to various devices, it will flash different colors. So green is connected on the kind of Wi-Fi, blue will be on Bluetooth, etc. In your Bluetooth setup mode, it will flash blue until it's synchronized, so that's nice and easy to do. Yeah, pretty nice controller overall. I like the fact that it kind of just works. Some of these controllers on the market, especially the multi-mode ones, are a real pain. You've got to press all these kind of weird buttons to change modes, etc. Whereas with this, just a simple switch, Bluetooth or wireless, and you can leave it in the Bluetooth or wireless mode and still charge it and use it. Or you can just plug it in as a normal USB controller for various devices, possibly some older ones which don't support wireless technology. So overall, I think they've done a pretty good job on this. Very much an improvement over the previous one, which actually I didn't like a great deal. I thought it was not very accurate. They seem to have got rid of all of those problems with this, so accuracy is absolutely top notch. The new Hall effect triggers are absolutely excellent, and again, for things like flight simulators, racing games, simulations, you've got that really nice level of control, which I think you're going to appreciate. And hopefully you've appreciated this video. If you did, smash on the like button. If you want to see more content like this on a daily basis, maybe consider hitting subscribe and the chime notification. That way you'll be notified of future video releases. I think that's going to wrap this one up. I've been Mike, this is Mike's Unboxing Reviews and How To, and hopefully we'll catch you in the very next video. Thanks for watching.